Welcome back to Saffas Unscripted, episode 135. Brevon, 135 episodes. 3 times a week. We only took a little sabbatical for what? Like a week, 2 weeks, once.
Yeah.
Other than that, we've been pretty consistent. How are you feeling, my man?
Yeah, all good. Sunday blues. Obviously Monday and tomorrow. Obviously this comes out on a Monday, but yeah, it's been a good weekend of sport that I've really enjoyed, and obviously the rugby was great, and for all the South African teams, which is a good thing to say. Good thing to say. So yeah.
Listen, have you ever played paddle?
I've thought about it, but I've never just done it because, like, it's crazy in Joburg. It's like everyone just plays paddle. It's crazy.
It's amazing. Like the paddle bug has bit me, right? And I played on Friday evening and Saturday. Like, I went to work on Saturday because I actually had work, and after work I went to go and play paddle. My body feels like I just played about 3 rugby games. I don't understand it, right? Like, I haven't played rugby in a long time. I went to go and play touchies once and felt like I got beaten down. It's touch rugby. My body is so sore, dude. But it's it's one of the most fun things to do. Like, it's so social, and you can play it with literally like anyone. Oh, it's amazing. You got to do it. You got to do it.
That's golf for me, though. That's the thing. Like, I do that with golf. Like, I love golf, but the paddle bug is like in Joburg. I can only imagine in Cape Town because
it's crazy.
Everyone's way more active there. But even here, it's like every time I go to training, because there's a paddle court opposite my rugby club. I think it's owned by Pirates themselves, but that court is full from like whenever it opens all the way till the last game. It's crazy.
Yeah,
like
it is.
Weekdays, weekends, it doesn't matter. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly the same year, right? Like, I went to go and play on Friday, and usually we book, for instance, like the final slot, because for some reason these clubs, they just keep themselves open. So like your final slot, they can just keep on playing. So we just like, well, it's pretty expensive, right? It's not as expensive as golf. I've given golf the boots. I said, listen, okay, well, I'm playing like 4 holes. I've hit away like 20 balls. I'm not going to pay about $800 every time I want to play golf. So I'll go and play paddle. So it's absolutely amazing. You said you're coming down in December, so we'll plan on getting you on the paddle court. Okay.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Get this 6'12" giant running around, looking like he's doing shuttles on a paddle court. But yeah. Anyway. I just mentioned that we don't have like a lot of comments that we kind of highlighted after our previous episode. Obviously, we ask everyone to, if you have a controversial take or a nice little hot take on a discussion that we had, put it in the comment sections, and we'll highlight it the next one. But kind of one that stood out for me is we talked about the potential of Kate Voliter, and we'll integrate this into our actual discussion for today, where it's like, he was brilliant this weekend. He's a future star. I didn't manage to see the game live, but I did record it, and then I watched it this morning. I was like, the Lions absolutely beat Edinburgh down. Like, it was put nearly 50 on them in the first half.
Yeah.
And then nothing in the second half. But that was Kate Voliter. He had an amazing game. Yeah. What a game.
First of all, obviously, now that we get into the rugby content part of it all, well, this is Saffas Unscripted. Please remember to like, share, subscribe. A lot of you have been here since the beginning. Usually there are 3 of us. Fortunately, Brett has to deal with something today, so he cannot join us. But
just a bit of family time.
Yeah, he will be back, I'm pretty sure, next episode. And obviously it's getting to URC time, and obviously SAFFA teams are fighting their way to get as many early points as possible, because you know that they'll lose their Springboks at a stage, etc., etc. And it's great to see that all 4 sides delivered this weekend. It's just great to see, especially the Stormers winning away and the Sharks winning away. Regardless of how close that game was, I saw a perspective on it, and it's like, the Sharks, they did scrape that through, but 1, Dragons were actually very good, and 2, they did it with a lot of players missing. So there has to be credit given there. And then obviously the Lions, like you said, oh my word. I genuinely thought we were going to see an 80 at least. It was Brute. I said it on the group. I said genuinely, and I still stick by this after watching all the games. I think obviously they switched off that second half, but I think the Lions are looking the best team at the moment. Just their chemistry, the flow of their game.
Fully agree. Yeah.
Cade Voliter running the show. Obviously a bit of a hammy niggle now, which is not great. But what he can do is just insane. He's putting himself there for conversation to maybe get in the picture for a Bok jersey, if he continues this form going forward. So crazy.
He was
crazy.
sensational, Brevin. I mean, that guy ran the show. He created stuff out of nothing. I've never seen the creative part of Cade Voliter really until this weekend. And he just ran the show. He was absolutely brilliant. Once again, Kwan standout. Edwolf van der Merwe, beast of a game. Was it his first game back? His first proper game back?
Since that injury, yeah.
Beast of a game. And the Lions, they don't know how to score an ugly try. They just score gems, gem after gem after gem. And I'm just like, this is utterly ridiculous. The way that the Lions are playing, they are the best franchise in South Africa with the way they're playing. And you can see that this team, they've been playing quite a bit together. The fact that they don't have that many South African or Springbok players in there, they've been playing together in the Currie Cup. You can see the chemistry that's just going there, just as you mentioned. And it's absolutely scintillating. Like it's these no-name brand players that just plays the most beautiful rugby out there. Like it just all flows so nicely. Give them some loose ball and you are cooked from anywhere on this field.
The man that you've been wanting so bad at the Storm is again having a great game, JC Pretorius.
Man of the match as well. Come on, words.
Jeepers. Like, so good. And a shout out to, obviously, the Currie Cup breeds some stars that you only find during the Currie Cup. And that Renzo Duplessis is an absolute monster. Like, next
Frank
level. I think,
as well.
Yeah,
everyone.
And it's crazy, like, how good that Lions team is looking. And I personally think if Cade had stayed on, the Edinburgh wouldn't have gotten back into that game. I genuinely don't see it. And I just see the Lions would have scored a lot more points in the second half. I think you kind of like, you're so overwhelmed by such a good first half that you can afford to take your foot off the pedal, It's like it's just implanted in your head that you are so far ahead that you can kind of just take a seat back. So crazy.
Give me JC Pretorius. Just throw the bag at it. Please. Give me JC Pretorius and give me Sanele Noamba. That's all I'm asking for. I mean, it's not too much. It's probably going to cost you a couple of mil, right? But, I mean, just do it. Just do it. Like JC Pretorius, I haven't seen him have a bad game. Like, we spoke about...
He's a Kwagga Smith,
literally a young Kwagga Smith. And the thing is, like, did you see Edinburgh? They look dead after 20 minutes. Blowing. Yeah. And that's what we spoke about with the game of the Springboks when we played Argentina as well. Just let Argentina defend all day. That's literally what Edinburgh had to do. Just defend. You'll be gassed. You are out on your feet with the pace that the Lions play. Oh, it was scintillating.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It was a cooking day in Joburg yesterday. It was pretty hot. And obviously altitude is still a thing in Joburg. They just looked like they were shocked. It was that flowing rugby that every single pass stuck, every single run worked, every single bounce of the ball. It was like watching. I'm not comparing this team to the All Blacks 2015 side. I'm just saying the way how everything just worked for them. It was so similar. Yeah. So the Lions, if they keep this up, I genuinely can see. Like I've said this all the time, but playing like that. That's the easy semi-final potential.
They just easy. It has to be. They look like the best team in the tournament at the moment with the way that they are playing. I'm not saying they are, but they look like it. I mean, every time Edinburgh looked like they had some front foot ball, like into the 22, bang, ripped out of the ruck, just like so good. Frankie Horn, JC Pretorius, who's really underrated that is playing some great rugby. This inside center, I didn't even know the guy's name. I know it now. It is Reinhard Jonker. How good was he? Holy shit. Bro.
Crazy.
That guy
It's
was
crazy to see
insane.
like how the Lions have made this step up since obviously losing Faf, Mostert, Marks, Warren White. Like since that grade
Elton
of play,
Yankees.
they lost all those players and they had to rebuild. And it's just they're doing such a good job. So I really hope they keep it up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But obviously it's not all positive because they
yeah,
did get smacked around in the second half in terms of points.
yeah.
They only put up 7 points, conceded 21 points in
21.
the second
Yeah,
half. Do you think they kind of just settled down because they knew they had the bonus point, they had the
yeah.
victory at that point, so they kind of just got a bit, how do you say it, like
So
lackadaisical, or whatever, however you pronounce
yeah,
it,
yeah. Laxy Daisy. Like
lackadaisical.
honestly, it happens with any team. Like I've had games where we've been winning convincingly, that we continue to win convincingly, but then there are some where you are so, because let's be honest, I'm sure the Lions didn't expect to make that first half look so easy. I don't think they believed it would be. And when that happens, when you play a team that you blow away in the first half, it's almost like you shock yourselves and you kind of like, we can kind of settle down here. Like it's just the thing
Yeah.
that creeps into your head. I don't
Especially
know.
knowing how good Edinburgh has been in the first 2 weeks. Like I know they haven't
Yeah.
got a victory, but they've played Leinster and the Bulls.
Hmm. So
They were,
yeah, but I wouldn't worry too much about that. Obviously, if it was a closer game, I don't think the Lions would have shut down like
no.
that. So yeah, obviously something to fix mentally and work on going forward to never really to trust how good you are, and if you are ahead by so much, that just keep at the plan. But
Mm.
like I said, when Cade went off, it kind of just seemed like it wasn't the same. So
Yeah,
yeah.
but that doesn't look like a massive injury. Like he might be out for a little bit, but it
Mm,
isn't like because when he's got injured before, you could immediately see, okay, well, that's another 5 6 months gone.
mm,
Right? When the knee bends to the backside or whatever, like he played on after the tackle, and then maybe just decided, okay, well, I don't think they would have probably taken him off if it was a closer game. I just thought, okay, well, the guy's got a smile on. They've already got 40 points on the board. They
mm,
should be fine bringing on Nuamba into that 10 jersey. Because he had a smile. He didn't like limp off or anything. So I probably just think it could be a numb leg, could be a numb hammy or whatever.
yeah.
So just a bit of therapy, maybe 1 week out and then back into it. Might even see him next weekend again. So yeah, anyway, obviously scoreline ended 55-21. Let's move over to your boys. Victory, big victory.
Yeah.
Now
Great game.
47-21 against Ulster. Probably your strongest team that you could possibly field.
Yeah.
And for a second, you sent a message on the group chat saying like the Bulls in the second half once again, but then in the end they fixed up.
Mm.
Was that a
Yeah.
big positive for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I just think again, you don't give teams a sniff back into it. Like I know it was a very minor sniff, but still, a sniff is a sniff, and we've seen crazy things happen in the sport. But it's just it creeps into your mindset when, for example, even if it doesn't mean anything, it still gives you that comfortable like mindset of, oh, I can switch off in the last 20. It's like a mental thing. So. But other than that, I mean, obviously that can be fixed and it's something that has to be fixed. But other than that, I mean, my goodness, like Cam Hanekom and Arich Low, call them the
I
Terror
was
Twins.
just going to ask you, do you think Marco van Staden has played his final game in a Bok jersey? Because that's Cameron Hanekom coming through now.
Bro, I don't understand how a kid can be that good at rugby at
It's
22 years of
insane.
age. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Like you said, Ulrich Louw is man of the match. Now I can respect that fully.
Oh, bro, both of
If,
them,
if I
easy
was
shouts.
blind, because Cameron Hanekom was an absolute monster. I mean, I was watching that game, right? And fair enough. Okay, it's Saturday. I was drinking a whizzer, right? But I was mouth open watching that game because every time something happened on the field, anything good, the camera just panned to Cameron Hanekom because it was either a massive carry, a massive tackle, something at the
Steal.
breakdown, or a try scored. The guy, like, and to make him even better, like, for some reason, people get better when they get a military cut. He's got a military cut as well now.
Him,
And he got blood all over his face. And he just came back onto the field. Monster.
It's literally, it was like Ulrich Loh, bash on his head, blood, goes off, stitches, straps up, comes on, monster. Cam HANEKOM, bash in the head, blood, goes off, straps up, comes on, I'm like, these two, they literally, I call them the Terror Twins now because they literally just do
From
damage to
WWE, you're thinking Rhea Ripley and Damian
Yeah.
Priest.
Terror Twins.
By the way, we are WWE fans. We do enjoy a little pay-per-view. Last night was Bad Blood. Did you watch?
I did indeed.
Yeah. Okay, we'll speak about that afterwards.
But yeah, honestly, and then hats off to Villy. I think very good in a comeback game. Oh my goodness. Kirkley a bit quiet, but did what he needed to do. Still not too sold on Moody at 13. I would rather have Moody on the wing there than Sebastian de Klerk, but I guess they are kind of planning for when Kirkley goes to Japan.
100%.
Yeah. And then pleased with Butcher Chamberlain at 10.
I was just going to ask you.
He did a good job, nothing that I can say like, oh, why is this guy at the Bulls? Like, he did a good job, a steady job, and he was calm about it. Good try scored, read the gap well.
He still needs to find his feet there, and to put in a performance like that against Ulster, who's defensively pretty secure, I think he did a good job, especially when we know. I know Johan Goosen is a bit on the older side, but we know he kind of pulls the strings for that Bulls team still. Mm-hmm. Like, he's still a massive part of how the Bulls play. Chamberlain, he stepped up quite nicely there.
He did.
If you can get him some consistent game time, he could do a job there at 10.
But did you see? Obviously, I'm rooting for the guy now that he's a Bull, obviously. But Aphiwe Gianti comes on and
gets sent into yesterday.
Gets bounced, man. Goes scores. I was like, Aphiwe, ugly. You look, realistically, he's an option when Kirkley leaves. Like, I'm not saying he is the option, but he is an option as to who you put where. And if he's putting in performances like that, whether it's coming off the bench and that, even though he had a few good Currie Cup performances, bearing in mind it was Griffins, etc., like, he needs to pick up his game, because obviously I think a lot of people are expecting to see the old Gianti, but I just don't know if it's going to happen, because obviously that was such a big part in his career that was taken away from him because of obviously reasons being that everyone knows. Yeah. But yeah, honestly, I'm super pleased with the Bulls at the end of the day. Obviously, Gerard Steenekamp getting man of the match officially, which was interesting, but obviously great performance. But not Cam HANEKOM or
no. Listen, I always love it I always love to see props getting their props. I would love to see, for instance, Oxenchair get a bit more recognition for what he does in terms of that actual man of the match award or whatever. But it's tough to get it against Pieter-Steph du Toit. And it's the exact same scenario with Gerard Steenekamp yesterday. It's like, solid performance, very good. Stand out. Not as stand out. Like, it's clearly either Cameron HANEKOM or Ulrich Loh. That, like, it's like, not even up for debate. But a very good performance, a clinical performance, I could say as well. Because Ulster weren't like bad or anything, but you guys just took the game by the scruff of the neck and you just played your rugby, and it was good. Do you have anything to add to this Bulls performance?
No.
Do you have one more game at home before travel?
No, we are traveling now.
First game is against? Do you know?
I don't know, but I do know that I think it's a 4-week travel. I think that's a long one. So I mean, realistically, Bulls need to go at least. Sorry,
that's the real test, right? The traveling, because we've always
absolutely. You need. I think the Bulls have to, depending on who we're playing, would have to at least take 2 games. Have to. Like, there's no negotiation.
I think set up the standard. Say at least 3 out of 4, but you got to do 4 out of 4. In my opinion, like, get this rugby altitude rugby club little teddy off your back.
Actually, you know what? I think we should beat the Ospreys.
Yep, win.
We should beat the Scarlets.
Win.
Benetton.
Win. They're not looking good.
And Connacht.
Okay, tie to 1, but win.
that I think 3 out of 4 is a must win. Like
I feel
they'll
confident
not.
with the Connacht one, right? Because we'll speak about them in a bit, but they just scraped over the line against Scarlet. You have to beat Scarlet. Ospreys at home, they are tough,
Yeah,
but you guys, where they are tough, you guys are also tough because they
I
beat you
think
down physically, and that's
just
exactly what
have
you
to
guys
take the right players, you know. So
full strength,
full
full
strength,
strength.
yeah,
Do you have
pretty much.
Curtly traveling with you?
Yes, he only leaves when their season starts in I think November or December. So
Yeah,
yeah.
there you go. Take him with you. Get all the points you possibly can. I would say the toughest battle there would have been Benetton at home, but Benetton's been looking like, I don't know, shit.
Shaky, yeah.
Yeah.
Very shaky.
Anyway, we'll talk about the Sharks in a bit. Let's talk about Stormers.
Okay.
Beautiful performance. I know it's only ZEBRE. But for a confidence booster key, I'll take it. I'll take it. We looked very good. They were nowhere in the game. I don't know how they got their 5 points because every time they had the ball, we took it. We had the ball the whole time. Leland Zas, very good. Yuri Mattia, once again, good performance. He looked very good. Actually brought some creativity. Damian Willemse, looked back to his best. Man of the match as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Love
I'm
it.
very happy. I'm
The
very
ghost
happy.
is back.
Leland Zas was the epitome of I won't pass because I'm a wing yesterday.
Yeah. But yeah, Stormers, like great perform, and I don't think you guys should take anything or just say it's just ZEBRE. No, I get it. It's just ZEBRE. Whatever, cool. But they still beat Munster last week, which
Yep.
takes a good side. Yeah, it takes a good side to win against Munster. So you guys obviously did something right to disrupt their ability to get any kind of momentum, and that is a positive in itself, you know, because you can only play what's in front of you, and you can only, and obviously they're coming off a high, they're believing in themselves, and you guys go and shut that confidence down like that. I think it's something that needs to be looked at, and obviously it's not, like I said, just ZEBRE, it's a big performance. And because of your start to the season that you had, I think it's a great way to respond. Willemse, obviously.
It was our first game of the season, bro.
Yeah, first game of the season, yeah. But can't wait to see Willemse back in the Springbok green and gold. I mean, the guy is just next level. Like, I know Fassi has put his hand up, but sorry, guys, Damien Willemse is...
Willems just kind of didn't do him any favors from the kicking tee. Wow, he was dreadful. I know he kicked the final one from the touchline, but I was just like, if we ever wanted to play Mani at 10 and we're like, okay, we're going to give the kicking duties to Damien, no, give it to Mani, because that was shocking. It was dreadful. What do you think about Keke Morabe playing the absolute NFL, acting like he's got the ball, like fooling about 2 or 3 props, and Paul de Vet just snatches the gap straight through the middle, gives it to Leland Zas.
So I think it's great. I think it's like NFL playbook, beautiful. I love it. But so then I saw like an outcry on Twitter that apparently it's like illegal. It's a free kick because of, I think it said, if a player takes any action to fool or give the defense any thought that the maul is over by doing any action, then it's a free kick. But now I don't get that.
The maul was over because Paul de Vet took the ball out.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm just saying what I saw, but I think it's a great try. I think we need more of those kind of things. That's what makes rugby exciting as well. Like these different kinds of. I mean, the Springboks line out to Evan throws it backwards to Peter Steph. Like, those are the things you want to see because now it gets people's views on the game. Like, oh my goodness, this game can be crazy. It doesn't have to just be catching and running to someone, you know. So
I can understand that maybe deception thing, but as far as I know, we didn't push forward with the maul or anything. Like Morabe went one way and Paul de Vet went the other way. Like it's just a dummy runner. It's their fault for fooling with it. Like Morabe just ran, never had the ball.
Yeah,
Paul de Vet
but he
just took
did
the ball out and saw a gap, and he just ran straight through that gap.
Yeah, he did it so well. Like
beautiful execution.
Like, even the perfect running back action in the NFL, like holding it like you should, and and then just
Yeah.
execute it to perfection.
Yeah, but we'll take the 5 points. That is a massive boost of confidence. I'm not sure who we're playing next weekend. Should I go and check?
Aren't you at home? Or
No,
you
no, no. I
still
think we've still got one more game on tour.
okay?
Stormers fixtures. What, next weekend is the 12th?
Yeah.
Oh, we're facing a returning Edinburgh.
Oh no, they'll be full strength. You won't
Yeah,
be.
and they'll be hurting. That's 3 losses on the bounce for them.
Yeah. Big game that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be saucy. Might be. No, it's on a Saturday. Okay. I thought it might be a lovely little Friday night special. We always know we lose.
Yeah.
I'd rather take my 4 o'clock Saturday and hope for the best. But it is
Yeah,
what it
Friday
is.
night, you always know you're in for trouble. You're never going to get a performance
Yeah.
done.
It's horrific. Anyway, let's move over to the Sharks. And you mentioned it earlier. That was not a bad Dragons team. Like, they played pretty well. We know what the Dragons can do. They made it life very, very tough for the Stormers as well, end of last season. The Dragons have looked a lot better this season. Obviously, got the victory over the Ospreys as well. Ospreys beating the Stormers. So this is not a situation for me now. This is going to sound crazy where you can say it's just the Dragons. I think you have to give credit to the Sharks.
same way-
Fighting right until the end. After 80
Yeah.
minutes, getting the victory.
The same way that I said about Stormers and the ZEBRE game, where it's not just ZEBRE considering the context. I think it's the same here because you down and out. You know South African teams don't win often here. You know it's going to be tough. You're in a position where you're bound to probably lose the game, and you find a way to win. Like, you have to take positive from that. And like I said, they didn't do it. They didn't do it with any Springboks. You know, they still have Fassi, Koch, and Monambi, Evan, Sia, all Ox. Sorry, so many people still to come back. I mean, that team easily would have been so much
good
better.
was that try from
Oh,
Lorenzo Julies out to
Ethan
Ethan Hooker,
Hooker.
Andre Estreisen, Ethan Hooker, Jaden
So
Hendrickson.
good, man.
Wow. We've seen a
Yeah.
couple of absolutely scintillating tries. You think about it, that try from, for instance, okay, we just mentioned the deception of Leland Zas's try. You think about Edwin van der Merwe's try, both of them, you know. You look at that try from the Sharks. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. And even the Bulls, like, we've seen some good tries from the South African
We
teams
have.
this weekend. Oh, it's been a sexy weekend of rugby. We'll take the clean sweep. Eh? We'll take that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do the Sharks have another game on tour?
I believe they do. Sharks. Benetton away. Yeah.
Okay, so they'll probably have one more week without their South Africans. I think Orcs will probably take a bit more of a break, but I do expect to see Vincent Koch back. Maybe I do expect to see Lukanya Am back really soon. Those are the two guys because they haven't played too much. Or maybe Vincent Koch has played a bit more, but he's only playing like one half of rugby or like 30 minutes of rugby every single time.
Yeah, I mean, when the Sharks get back, they have Glasgow at home, Munster at home, and then they play you guys at home. So it's going to be spicy.
That's
Spicy.
two victories and a massive loss for them. I wonder what that will do to their confidence. But yeah, obviously, the Sharks lost to Connacht last weekend at the death. This time, they win it at the death. I think that's a good thing for them. Who did you say they play next weekend?
Benetton away.
Benetton away. They should get the job done there as well. I think it'll be a close game. But they have to kick on now. They've still got the talent. They've still got an amazing team.
Yeah.
They just got to get it done. And then they travel home. If they can say, listen, we got 2 out of 3 while we were on the road.
I'll take that any day.
Yeah, all day. Especially without our Saffas, you'll take that. Anyway, let's move over to some of the other teams that played. Because we had a couple of classics as well. Starting off Friday night, we had Scarlets, Connacht, right? Bro, Connacht once again pulling it through at the death. 1 point victory over the Scarlets. Massive.
So I can't lie. I was watching.
They love a close game. All 3 of them close.
I was watching Northampton Saints versus Harlequins, and yeah, I didn't watch the URC game, but obviously Connacht, like finding a way to win, it's a good look.
Again.
So yeah, I mean, it's like you think these guys don't look great, but they're finding ways to win. And when you play them, they somehow put themselves in a position where they can still find a way to win. So you have to be careful with them. Like, because has Bundi Aki returned? Because I saw in last week's game he was
I'm not sure.
on the side.
I was busy playing paddle. I was busy playing paddle. But the thing is, like, it's strange, right? Because they've had 3 games, all 3 of them close. They played a full-strength Munster, took them to the wire. They played the Sharks, snatched it at the death. And then played the Scarlets. And it's also going down to the wire. What is going on? How can you take a game against the Scarlets and Munster down to the wire? It is crazy.
Yeah, like obviously that's like I said, Bundy was on the sidelines last weekend. I feel like when you add him to that team, I think everyone just ups their confidence by like 5% naturally because of the player they have in their team. So yeah, I do expect them to get better. But yeah, it's a good thing that you're able to keep yourselves in games that are tight and still manage to win them regardless of the opposition. It creates a mentality where you know you can pull things off in the closing stages. So I mean, kudos to Connacht. But yeah,
Obviously, from there. Same evening we had Cardiff versus Glasgow, defending champions. And obviously the score was 36-52 to Glasgow. But that game was tight. Was it 36-40 into minute like 72 or something? Could be. Like, it was a close game. And then obviously in the final 10 minutes, Glasgow scored twice to kind of secure the victory. But we've got another 88-point game. The URC is off to an absolute flyer this season. Like, it just feels like it's taken it to a new level. Franchise rugby is very alive when it comes to the URC, and I absolutely love it. Glasgow, they just know how to. When they lose, they don't lose badly. I just feel like I never see Cardiff lose badly. Like, somehow we all say they're one of the worst teams, but they keep a game close. They just know how to do it. But credit to Glasgow. Once again, getting their 5 points, clinical, 52 points still.
Yeah. I mean, like, obviously, Glasgow will have, obviously, like, what expectations do you give for them this season? Like, obviously, they're defending champions, but you can't really hold them to that again, because look at the sides that are out there this year. I think Sharks are stronger, Bulls probably stronger. Glasgow obviously very strong, but then you have the Irish team still, where they're very dangerous. And like, you can't say we won the final last season and it's like we have to expect to make a final again. Obviously the players will be thinking that, but like as fans,
should we put more expectations on Glasgow? It's not that we're disrespecting
arguably
them at all.
You should.
Because they were leading the whole season, top of the table, until they like dropped off a bit at the end. But then they went and beat Munster at home. They beat the Bulls at home. They beat they beat the Bulls at Loftus. They beat Munster in Ireland. They obviously beat the Stormers at their own home. Like, I mean, should we have more expectations on these guys and say, listen, they have to be top 3, top 4 every single season, especially. And I'm not taking this as something to take away from them, but it adds to it that they have to play, for instance, the Italian teams twice, right? That should be an extra 10 points for them.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, like I think maybe it is a bit too nice if you aren't expecting a bit more, because it's almost like a Leicester City. Okay, not that it's that big, but like a Leicester City where winning the Premier League, like, do you hold them accountable to win it again, type of thing. But yeah, I think semi-finals is probably a minimum, because I mean, if you're winning a final and your team's pretty much the same, like, you should be able to improve. So yeah, the reason I just asked the question is because, like, obviously, where do you hold them at a successful season this year? So yeah, just wanted to say that.
Successful season, at least a semi-final. in my opinion. I think they're strong enough for that. It's crazy because we kind of forgot how the Lions, was it a 14-man Lions, just absolutely blitzed them at the end of last season. Full strength, by the way. And then they still went on to win the rugby champ after the URC.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. But my expectation for them I wouldn't say it's my expectation, but for them to say it's successful has to be at least another semi-final. When you're defending champions, you would at least expect to get to the playoffs and win one of your playoff games. Because those are obviously the big ones. I can't blame them for losing against the likes of the Bulls at Loftus. I can't blame them for losing against Munster or Leinster or something like that. Because obviously on paper, they've got all the international players. Like on paper, you would probably say Edinburgh should be stronger than Glasgow, don't you think?
On paper, yeah, I agree. I do agree on paper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're punching above their weight, but they're doing it so consistently that it's like tough to put an expectation on them. Anyway, the people in the comment section can let us know what they think about Glasgow. Obviously, some of them probably know a lot more about Glasgow. We can only say what we've witnessed in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up, Leinster taking Benetton to the cleaners. Once again, they played full strength. I wasn't able to watch the game once again. I was playing PADEL. Oh, well, I was watching the Bulls game. Wasn't that at the same time?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Expected win, not much more. Obviously, full strength. Argia's first start for Leinster. I sent the team on the group when they announced it, and I was like Oaks, imagine, and then you still have to add Geordie Barrett to it, and you were like, happy death day, Benetton, because what more can you do? Like, you see a team like that traveling to you, and you're like, I mean, it's such a good team. Like, banter aside, I mean, that team is so good. So
the big standout thing was obviously like we've seen the Irish people call out for this to not play Ross Byrne in that starting 10, but to go with Kieran Frawley. You got that 10 jersey, and I saw one of the content creators on TikTok saying that he had an amazing game. I can't say that I know, but we know he's a quality 10. I've never understood why he's always on the bench and Ross Byrne gets that 10. I don't think Ross Byrne's terrible, but he doesn't fit our list.
Yeah, and I just think his BMT is not what it needs to be.
Not really there.
Yeah, so if you compare Sexton to Ross Byrne, I think that's what the drop-off is, It's like, it's a massive drop-off.
Frawley is a lot closer. Frawley offers you a lot on attack and defense, and he's a big boy. And he's got that big match temperament. I mean, he slotted 2 drop goals against literally, now the number 2 ranked team in the world. I mean, to win the game. Ridiculous. Anyway, I can't add too much on the Leinster one. All that I can say is my standards aren't going to drop for Benetton. I can't speak bad on them when you lose against a full strength Leinster team. We know they've struggled those first 2 rounds. Hopefully they don't bounce back, because the next game you said is the Bulls, right?
Next to Sharks, and then it's Bulls, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. If it was the Bulls, I would have said I hope.
No, not the Bulls. The Bulls played them in like 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh, okay.
They're like 3rd on their tour game. But Sharks next. I mean, that easily could be 3 in a row.
That could easily be game of the weekend as well.
It could be.
I can expect a good game there. I do have the expectation for that being a good weekend. A good game. Finally, we had Munster 23-0, keeping Ospreys to 0 points after a very good performance against the Stormers. That's kind of how you want to bounce back. The Ospreys are a respectable team, but Munster at home, that's how you bounce back as well. Obviously, a bit of controversy, securing it, keeping Ospreys to 0. Massive, not even a penalty. Nothing. 0. Nada.
Yeah, that's not good. You definitely don't walk away with a ton of confidence when you score 0 points in a game.
No.
But luckily it wasn't a...
Yeah, it would have been worse if Munster got even more.
Yeah, like a 23, all right, cool. Obviously, like on another day where Ospreys do score points, that score looks a lot more respectable. So... whatever, but obviously Munster will be happy, because obviously a loss against ZEBRE, not great. you need to start building confidence somewhere, and it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I feel like, and I hope there's no Munster fan to crucify me for this, but I just don't see them keeping up the pace. I don't know. I feel like I don't
Briven,
know.
we said this last year.
I
We said
understand
this,
that.
it's going to be the worst title defense we've ever seen.
No. I just think they lost here. Obviously, it's not a one. It's not like Saffas makes Munster or whatever. It's not what I'm trying to say. I just think it's a big loss. You've lost. Yeah, I get that, right? But yeah, look, obviously, I think what I'm trying to say is I don't see them being as good as last season, is what I'm trying to say. Maybe, like, obviously, I still fully expect them to make a quarterfinal, whatever, but they could easily get stopped by like a Glasgow, for example, if they have to meet Leinster in a quarterfinal, if they have to meet one of those teams. I just think, like, or especially Leinster, it's a tough day out, like a really, really tough day out.
I'm looking at the table now. 3 games in, there's only 3 undefeated sides left, and that's Lions, Bulls, Leinster. It's crazy to think about. That just tells you how close it already is. Like,
yeah, I get you.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a saucy season. I'm so excited.
I mean, it's crazy to see.
And obviously, the build-up for international is also close. So these guys are going to put up their hand to go into international season as well.
But like I think the way I was looking at it is like, okay, I forgot what I was going to say. My apologies. I'm just Sunday afternoon. But I think at the end of the day, so obviously, I know you say this is the Stormers' first game of the season, but they did happen to play a friendly the week before against the Ospreys. And they did lose that friendly. What was the score again? Like 35-24 or something.
Yeah.
And that's against
around that.
Okay.
Around
so that was the score against the Ospreys, right? And then Munster go and beat them 23-0. It's like that drop off, but like at the same time.
But then the weekend before, they got beat by the Dragons as well.
Yeah, it's one of those seasons where I can just see teams beating someone just on their day. So that's what makes it exciting, is what I'm trying to allude
I mean, after week 1, we were all giving Ulster a lot of credit because they beat the defending champions. They're 13th.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, explain it to me. Like, they beat the defending champions. The defending champions in second place.
3 games, so yeah.
Yeah. So the Stormers have played 1 game. They've won 1.
Yeah,
1 from 1. And we're in 12th. We're above Ulster. Like, I mean, come on. We are Benetton, 3 games, minus 62 points difference on 2 points.
That's not a good start. Not a good start.
I mean, last season, this time, they're probably in the top 4.
They were, actually, if I'm not mistaken. They started so well. They were strong, you know.
Who did they play? Oh, it's because they got that draw against Scarlets. Then they lost against, who was it? Glasgow. And then lost, obviously, against Leinster. So it's not an easy start, but they should have at least had 45 points by now.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, and then Edinburgh, also down there. They've got 3 points so far. 3 points. Minus 42 points difference. Played the Bulls played the Bulls and the Lions. Yeah, I think it's only fair to look at the table about that round 10. That'll probably give you more of an idea where everything is going.
I think at the end of the day, as much as it's difficult for South African teams to go there, coming here is another story as well. Like, it is, it's not easy. So the same way we get minimal results out there, they get minimal results when they come here. So it's like they
but that's why we said the challenge for the Bulls and the Sharks would be get your victories there, because then you've accomplished the challenge.
Yeah. So like, obviously we have altitude, for example, if you can put it that way, and then obviously they have, I think they call it 4G pitches. It's, I don't know what the specific name is.
What
I
do the Stormers have?
Yeah, but the Stormers don't have
it. Better.
You at least have some grass on that pitch, which is all right.
So we make it a level playing field. So we only play level playing field and 4G pitches when we go abroad. So life's just tough. We don't have that guaranteed altitude or anything where we can live and breathe into yeah, life's tough to be Stormers. That just means
Just
when we
your
win,
stadium
we
is just
deserve
on
that.
a beach. You look onto a mountain. Life's tough, eh? Damn.
Yeah, we use
With
that
the
as a
bloody
distraction for the people. They come down to Cape Town. They're like, "Yeah, I don't want to go and play rugby. I want to sit here at Clifton. I want to go to the waterfront. I want to go on these red buses." Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up. People, please do remember to like and subscribe. Brevin, thank you. And we will see you on Wednesday. I don't know what we'll chat about, but we'll chat about something. We'll find something. Anyway,
Sweet.
goodbye.